Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, right? We saw Kareem Hunt come in, dominate. Even when Pacheco came back last year, it was seemed like Kareem Hunt was the guy who had the juice. And I don't know, maybe Pacheco came back from his injury. It was a pretty bad injury. Yeah, the broken ankle, I believe that's what it was, broken ankle, or fracture ankle.
Yeah.
And it takes some time to come back from that, especially the high level professional football we're talking about. But Kareem Hunt was the guy when they had both dudes out there. Kareem Hunt was the one who had the juice. When we talk about who's going to be the feature back in this offense, I don't think when we talk about feature back, we're not talking about the days when you were playing where the guy was getting 25 totes or when Kareem Hunt was our main guy last year getting 25, 26 carries. I think the feature back, right, more 12 to 13 carries in this offense. But how do you think the split's going to be between Kareem Hunt and Pacheco? Do you think it's going to be as 50-50 as like a lot of fans want it to be, or do you think it's going to be more of like Pacheco's the guy and then Kareem Hunt's going to spell him every so often on first and second down? How do you think that's going to be between the two of them?
If a guy's eating, man, you let him eat, and then of course you just give him a break. I think if you keep these two guys, fresh, I don't see why they wouldn't be more balanced. And, if he's doing well, then you let him run the rock. I mean, it's just how it goes. You let him get into a rhythm, and then, we see how it's going to work out. But having those two guys, Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, man, we're in a great position. We are. They're two good backs in this league. I think that's why Pacheco kind of figured, like, look, if I want, the meat of this thing, right, the lion's share of the carries and whatnot in here, then I'm going to have to bulk up for that. Okay. Because after a while, man, you start getting a fast dude in the back, man, it's kind of redundant, right? You need, like, somebody feed the beast. You need some big boys back there, man. Tote that rock, Marcus. Period, point blank, man. Period, point blank. Sorry. So I think it's also, too, about, like you said, time of possession. So we need to sustain some drives. It's good to go out there and score touchdowns and go over the top, but what ends up happening is we start playing in the hands of the defense. And what's going to sustain drives is running the ball. You got to run it down their throats. I just happened, I was looking, cleaning out my office, and I got the paper from when we played the Ravens on Monday Night Football. And on the front page, it said, not done yet. It was me doing the little pose, against the Ravens and stuff. And I was reading the articles by all the sports writers and whatnot. I was like, man, this is interesting just to, hear their point of view. And you know what we decided? We kept saying from us and our offense was we were going to run straight at Ray Lewis. That's what we wanted to do. Teams have been daring the Chiefs to run the football for the past few years, and we decided we wanted to go different. I get us wanting to do what we do best, right? We have the best quarterback in the business to throw the ball down the field, but sometimes we need to just hand that ball off, man. Sometimes we need to just do that because it helps him out. It helps our whole offense out. So, and why I'm saying this is because sometimes we just need to run the daggone football straight at him. Seriously. Bottom line. And I think we took away from Kareem Hunt having a hell of a year. We took that away from him toward the end. Same thing with Pacheco. We just kind of, I don't know. I didn't like that direction. I think we're going to see a little bit different coming in this year, though. Seriously. I think Andy and those guys understand that we had to run the football effectively. Right? So, hey.
For sure.
Chiefs fan 2211 said we always needed to just pound that peel. No question about it. Chiefs fan 211. No question, man. And that was so frustrating for us to see. Last year's like, what the heck? Why aren't we running the daggone ball? Why aren't we doing it? And it was frustrating. Frustrating to see. And the Chiefs like, nope, we're going to do what we do well. Okay, I got it. I get it. But sometimes the practical thing to do right here, like this, that's all it needs to be. I like how my guns look right there. That's what I do.
The tries look good, yeah.
Yeah. Right. But that's all you had to do, Marcus. Hey, let Pat do that. Okay? Then over the top. That's it, man. Sometimes football can be so simple, man. We make it more complex than what it needs to be. So
yeah, that's one thing that Andy likes to get cute sometimes. It's like you don't need to do that. Just run it. Like we get to red zone. It's like what are you doing? These like double reverses. Just get the ball to Pacheco or Kareem. Yeah. No, I mean that's interesting. I mean, so you essentially say just going to the season kind of with the hot hand approach. If Pacheco's eating, feed Pacheco. Hunt's eating, feed Hunt. That's kind of what you'd ride the running back room.
Right, and sometimes that just happens to be the tempo of what you're doing. Right, just has to be. So Newt says, "Sexy Jason." Thank you, Newt. I appreciate you. Yeah, but Mike Brennan said it. That Tampa Bay Super Bowl, the whole D line was asking online, "Why y'all even running the ball? We're not even trying to stop the run." Been a reader forever. Got to take the good with the bad, no question. This is one of the things that they hated Andy about. I won't say hate. I don't want to use hate, but they disliked some of the things about Andy in Philadelphia. Was they knew that he was not going to run the ball enough. And I'm hearing it from Philly fans, y'all got Andy's never going to run the ball. I'm like, man, he'll run it when he needs to. Oh, so sometimes, man.
And the short passes to the running backs, Westbrook used to eat in the offense. That was like, count as part of the running game, right? Little quick dumps, screens,
right. Yeah, part of the running game. But is it really? I mean, especially if they sitting back there waiting in coverage and they know what you're going to do. Well, how you do it, just have somebody covering the flat, have somebody covering the back, just make them come up here and make the tackle. So,
yeah, that's always a rationalizations for like the offenses like that, or like the air raid offense. It's like, well, the short pass to the slots that acts as a running game. It's like, oh, does it?
Yeah, you can say that, but ain't nothing like, hey man, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. That's old Priest saying that, baby. Shoot. Hey, sometimes if they rush them 4 or 5, straight at them. That's what you do. Straight at them. You make them safeties and everybody come up. Make them come up in the box. Make them do that. Okay? You force them to come up and make tackles. Then you could hit them over the head deep. So, Jason Tarbox, T. Rich, Sherman, and Jason Dunn, they need guys like that if they want to beast of a running game. Yeah. Shoot.
They don't make 49s and number 89s like that anymore.
Don't make them like that no more, Jason. Appreciate it, my brother. But they have guys in here that love to block. We were saying this all last year, Marcus. We said the offensive line wants to block.
Yeah.
Why are we putting them on skates?
Yeah.
Joe Tooney, man, why are we doing that? And all of a sudden we start seeing guys pulling, getting knocked back, and you start softening up our O-line when you start doing those things. Okay. And he knows this. He's an old lineman. Okay. He understands these things. And sometimes you got to give the big boys up front something to eat. Let them go hunt, go get it. Let them go get it. I get pissed off just thinking about it. Like, that, God.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Chiefs fan 211. Right. No lie, we kind of ran the ball more with Williams. Actually, that's last year. There was that streak that we talked about in the show a bunch of times where I think there was 4 or 5 back-to-back games where Kareem Hunt had 20 plus carries. Chiefs running back hadn't done that since Larry Johnson. So there was a point last year where they kind of went to Kareem Hunt a lot, and it was the most consecutive 20 plus carry games for Chiefs running back since Larry Johnson. So I mean, they did kind of go to Kareem Hunt big time last year.
Yeah, and everybody wants to look sexy, right? We want to go up top all the time. But for Pat, he said, and he's going to challenge me to do those things. So that means he'll pick and choose when to throw the deep ball. And that could come at any time. First down, bombs away. 2nd and 2, bombs away. But guess what? 3rd and 5, sometimes we need to hand that joker off. Go on and give it to him, okay? Hit somebody right there underneath the chin strap. That changes things. I'm like, uh-oh. Yeah, well, this ain't the Chiefs no more. They're unpredictable. So,
yeah. I mean, it should be interesting though. I'm curious to see what they do with the splits between the two of them. Now they have both Kareem a full year of training camp, a full year of playing weight, just kind of being in shape. for the season. Because we picked him off the couch in the middle of the season. Like, we rose him up fast because we needed somebody in the backfield because we couldn't kind of rely on Carson Steele right away. We needed him, and he came in and did his thing. So, and I'm happy he's back. I know he still gets crapped on for having his yards per carry wasn't being sexy. It's like, no, I mean, if you watch the games, you saw what he was doing was productive. It wasn't like we were just giving it to him and he was getting like nothing. He was getting a lot of hard yards, earned yards, which helped us out big time, especially when we were depleted with a lot of the weapons we had on offense.
Yeah. I mean, so just like Justin Blackwell said, everything was circumstance last year. It just seemed like it.
For sure.
We wasn't determining what we were going to do. We in a situation we had to like, okay, now how do we respond to it? It was like, you don't want to be there. That's not where you want to be. Okay. You want to dictate what exactly you are doing to the defense. And I think it's what Patrick was sitting there saying in the video before us from one just coming in. He was sitting there saying, Andy's challenging him. They're going to push the ball down the field. And they mean from everybody on offense. So not only is he challenging Pat, I'm sure, is challenging Andy. Okay. And nagging, I guarantee he's challenging, like, hey, man, look, we can do much better. We can.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.